I listened to Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I'm going to share my biggest takeaway. Hey there, friend. How's 2025 going so far? I hope you're still having the momentum. I hope you're still keeping your New Year's resolutions. I hope you're still thriving and trying to push forward to achieve your goals. So in this video, I'm going to share my biggest takeaway from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this biggest takeaway is called habit stacking. He talked about the aspect of habit stacking in chapter 5 of the book. And if you have not heard about habit stacking before, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to learn what habit stacking is. So what is habit stacking? From the name stacking, it means stacking habits together. And this strategy is used when you want to develop a new habit. So habit stacking is more of like you pairing up a new habit you want to develop with an existing or an old habit which you have already developed and you do on a regular basis. That's it. Pairing two habits together. One of the habits you want to develop and the other habit, it's a habit that you have already developed and you do all the time on autopilot. So here's the formula. After or before current habit, I will new habit. To make this work, you just have to think about a current or existing habit you already have and try to see if you can do that new habit before or after the current habit you have. I'm going to share some of my personal examples which I've just developed to guide me more this 2025. Here's an example of some of the habits I want to develop this new year more effectively. And the first one is about study. So I have some professional certifications I'm trying to write. So I'm trying to develop a good study habit, a good study routine so that I could be able to prepare well for my exams and pass my exams as usual. So here it is. After getting home from work, I will study for at least 1 hour for my project management certification. So getting home from work, it's a habit. I consider it as a habit because from Monday to Friday when I go to work, I will come back home. So getting home from work is something that I do on a regular basis, right? There's no debate about it. I'll come back home. Even if I don't come back home, that's just maybe a rare situation. But my main study time will be after work because I go to work in the morning. I have other things I do in the morning. After work, that will be a good time for me to study. And I put a minimum of 1 hour. So I can extend but it shouldn't be less than 1 hour. So after getting home from work, I will study for at least 1 hour. Another personal example is before I start my car to drive to work, I will say a short prayer. So driving to work is something I do every day, Monday to Friday. I always drive to work. So before I drive to work, I will say a short prayer because I want to commit my work day. I want to commit that the activities at work to God's hand. So I just want to pray at all times before going to work. Another example comes when I'm doing the current habit. So during my commute to work, I will listen to podcasts. So driving to work is a great habit, but now I'm not following the main idea of after or before. I've just tweaked it and I've added during. So while I'm doing that activity, I can take advantage of listening to a podcast. I could make a call if I have to, but I want to listen to podcasts more often. So listening to podcasts is the new habit I want to develop. I've developed it, but I want to be more consistent with listening to podcasts specifically. So habit stacking is very effective. I've tried it so far and I'm completing my course on time. I've developed better prayer habits before going to work. And I've been listening to podcasts more often. To apply this, you need to be really clear about what you want to develop, about the new habits you develop. So right now, what are your existing habits? What habits do you have that you currently do without even thinking about it. What's that habit? I know brushing your teeth is one, unless you don't brush your teeth, but I know you brush your teeth. But what habit do you do? So write the habits, the current habit you have. And now the second thing is you need to identify the current habits you want to develop. What are those habits you want to develop? What are the habits you really think will help you achieve your goals faster? What are the habits you think that will help you to become a better person? What are those new habits? Okay. And now, how can you pair them up together? How can you link the old habits you have and the new habits you're trying to develop? It doesn't matter if you're doing the new habit before or you're doing the new habit after, but how can you link these habits together? Last year, I think I tried to do habit stacking without even knowing that that was what I was doing. But I used to have a bad habit of playing video games on Friday night just to relax myself. It's not a bad thing, but I don't have time to spare on video games right now. So what I usually used to do is that before I go and play video games, I'll have to complete a task or have to complete a project. And me playing video games serves as a reward to do that task. So even in the book of Atomic Habits, you also mention about rewards and how you could do some habits and have some rewards to reward yourself. There are various ways in which you could do it. If you want to know more, if you want to learn more advice, you can go check out the book Atomic Habits. It's very effective. If you want to develop new habits, try to take advantage of the old habits you already have, and that will help you to develop the new habits faster. That's it, my friend. That's all for this video. I hope the concept of habit stacking serves you richly, and thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed, do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.